costs £30. Brothers and sisters, you can pay via bank transfer, PayPal, or you can visit www.imamhusseincharity.com.
Your donation can make a world of difference in the life of a hungry child.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Dear brothers and sisters and dear viewers of this Imam Hussein Charity Live fundraiser on Imam Hussein TV 3. And first of all, we'd like to send our deepest condolences to you, the dear viewers, to the Shia across the world, to the Muslims across the world, and to the Imam of our time, Imam Sahib al-Asr wal-Zaman, on the martyrdom of Sayyidah Khadijah alayha salam. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to grant us the visitation of her grave as well as the visitation of the Imams of Baqi'. And inshallah, one day, we can visit the grave of her daughter, Sayyidah Fatima al-Zahra, salamullahi alayha. Now, brothers and sisters, joining me today is my co-host and a dear friend of mine, Sayyid Muhsin Shah. Assalamu alaikum, Sayyid.
Alaikum salam wa rahmatullah wa barakatuh.
How are you?
I'm very well. It's good to see you, Minhal.
Good to see you too.
It's been a while that we've been together since, I don't know, when's the last time we were together?
Arba'een?
No, Murtada's house.
Murtada's house, yes.
I had that big blanket thing.
Yes,
anyway.
that was an amazing time.
Yeah, it was an amazing time. It was a good, joyous occasion, but tonight isn't one of those occasions, unfortunately. Yeah. Commemorating the death of Sayyidah Khadijah salamullahi alayha. A very, very inspirational character.
Of course.
Her legacy is on giving. Her legacy is on, wealth, giving to charity, especially at a time where it was very, very difficult for the Muslims, with the sanctions and so forth. Islam arguably survived on the wealth of Sayyidah Khadijah.
Oh, definitely.
And tonight is a night we honor her. We remember her legacy and her story, and also an opportunity in her honor for the viewers to donate and help our beloved in Iraq, Afghanistan and Pakistan.
Definitely. Brothers and sisters, the packages will be on your screens throughout the live show, and throughout the live show we will be discussing Sayyidah Khadijah alayha salam, as well as discussing the ones who look up to Sayyidah Khadijah alayha salam, the ones who, when in times of need, will look for Sayyidah Khadijah alayha salam and pray in the name of Sayyidah Khadijah alayha salam. The package is £30, is an iftar pack to feed families. £1,400 is for water wells in Pakistan, and we'll discuss Pakistan shortly because Sayyid Muhsin is of course from Pakistan and he knows.
Recently come back as well.
He's recently come back from Pakistan.
Indeed.
And £50 is to sponsor an orphan. £500 is to sponsor tuition and learning a skill. It's like an apprenticeship, brothers and sisters, so that people don't become dependent on us. People can start depending on themselves. They just need that first push, that first little tip over the edge where they can then fend for themselves and fend for their families. And who knows, sometimes there have been poor people who have actually continued a legacy of charity giving by becoming so skilled at such a profession or at any profession, and they've inspired others and they've sponsored others, and it's just a domino effect, brothers and sisters. So for you to kickstart that domino effect, call in now on 0203 515 1122, message us on WhatsApp, and we'd love to hear your voices. We'd love to hear what you have to say and what's inspired you guys to donate. Again, the donations are on your screen, the details are all on your screen. How do I do this? Right there. There's the QR code. I'm looking at the screen.
There we go. There. No, there.
There.
Here we go.
Right there. What's saying Muhsin?
We're opposite.
Scan that QR code and it will
go.
take you where you need to go. But before we continue, we'd like to play one short video, and then we will welcome one of our dear guests. Bismillah.
يقول لك يعني احنا لا حطيت لا بعد الله ما قسم انه حطينا راسنا ربك يدبرها عشان نسوي لها وهذا علينا نقدر عليه ندبره وما نقدر عليه على الله على الله مثل انت وابو امجد واهل الخير مو يعني ما يقصرون عنه.
والله انا اريد هسه يعني من اهل الخير اريد المعيش يعني تعيشنا الشيء اللي عايشنا هسه احنا والله الحمد لله والشكر يعني بس هسه محتاجين شيء يعني عايشنا احنا قاعدين هذا البيت وهم وليه بس نقول بلك الله يعني من الله من الخير يساعدونا. اجتني مرة ذاك اليوم لقيت ما عندي فراش هذا من بيتي شالت الفراش وطتني اياه تدري بها سام وهاي رحنا انا وهم ست وتجبنا حتى فراش ما عندي. والله انا هسه قاعد اسوي فون قاعد لا اقدر لامتوني لا ادري ما اقدر قدام وجه احنا نقول قاعدين بالتجاوز يعني على ساعه مثلا يشيلونه وين تروح هي؟ يعني ما عندها مكان لا عندها مثلا راتب لا عندها لا زوجها عنده راتب لا مثلا عندنا راتب ما نعاطين كل شيء ماكو يعني مثل لا انا قاعده توها بعد منين هي منين تعيش راتب ما عندها.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I was blessed enough to come to meet this lovely family over here. Kids smiling, they're so cute and they're so happy. But behind the smiles is a tragic story of their father who unfortunately passed away due to COVID. Now the father was making a good living and unfortunately due to his death, now the grandmother has taken up a job as a maid in order to try and help raise these 4 orphans. Unfortunately, the mother doesn't work, and month to month they're just getting by. This is where you can come and help. See, you can help a family just like this by donating and supporting Imam Hussein Charity, where we will give them money that they can go out and they can buy clothes, buy food, and also help educate and raise these beautiful children. Brothers and sisters, I urge you all to support and pledge, and inshallah give these children the life that they really deserve.
Join us in the fight against poverty and make a meaningful impact in the lives of families, children and orphans in need.
As you saw, my dear brothers and sisters, these are family, that's one family of many families going through this. And one thing that I don't want to happen is you saw that little girl walking across and she was smiling. Because she doesn't know what's going on.
Yeah.
She is not aware of what's happening right now. Why there's a camera crew, why there's a presenter there, why someone is speaking, why there's light, right? She doesn't realize. And I want this change to happen before she can realize her situation and their situation. But before we continue, I'd like to welcome on our dear brother Yasser Mansour. We welcome him with a loud salawat ala Muhammad. Yasser, how are you?
Alhamdulillah, how are you?
How's everything?
Alhamdulillah.
Had a good futur?
Wallah, we had a great futur, alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. And you having a great futur means what? That those families need to have a great futur.
100%. Before I even start, as you said, I want to send condolences to you and the viewers for the demise of Sayyidah Khadijah, salamullah alayha. And it's so amazing that we can actually fundraise on a day like this, because Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam has said such a famous line that Islam would have not risen was it not for Imam Ali alayhi salam's sword and the wealth of Sayyidah Khadijah. So why can't we use the wealth that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has blessed us with, even though it might be low or maybe it will be high? Why can't we use that wealth and bless the lives of these Muslims, of these orphans, that, especially in a month like Shahr Ramadan, where the doors of mercy have been opened to us and have been opened to people like this, where orphans are smiling, just like you said, because they don't know what's happening yet.
Yeah, look at them. It's these innocent smiles that we have to sponsor, my dear brothers and sisters, because who knows? He could be a doctor. He could be an engineer. He could be a scientist. These guys all have bright futures if we give them the right resources and we give them the right support.
Definitely. I mean, with each one, like I had the pleasure of meeting these orphans and so forth. They are very intelligent. They are very sharp, and each and every single one of them has the potential to be something and to be someone. Now, right now, due to no fault of their own, whether it was because of war, torment, political instability in the government and so forth, they have become impoverished, and they do not get that chance that me and you get to, be someone and be something, to receive an education and to make a change in the world. Brothers and sisters, you guys need to pick up the phone, 0203 515 1122. Our volunteers are ready to take your calls, and you can help whether it's with, you know, sponsoring an orphan, or it's with the skills package, giving these orphans a chance to make a better future.
Now, brothers and sisters, I want to speak to you directly right now, just for a minute or two. The AIDS pandemic, or epidemic, let's say, kills hundreds of thousands. Research is still going into treating AIDS. Tuberculosis, malaria, cancer, diabetes, all of these things have research going into them to prevent people dying from it. This doesn't require any research. This requires you to search in your heart for that soft spot for an orphan. Why do we every single year, and the 19th of Ramadan is soon, the Tabra of Imam Ali alayhi salam is coming soon, and we always mention that he was what? The father of orphans. And I think we've taken that meaning lightly. And I think we've taken that very lightly, in the sense that we don't realize what the father of orphans means. We feel like we can just throw it in because it makes Ali ibn Abi Talib sound good. No. Ali ibn Abi Talib is good without having the title of the father of orphans. But it's that title, it's for Shia. It's for the Muslims. For you to reflect on that. If he was the father of orphans, what was he doing? He didn't go and research. No. None of these scientists have to research for us to find a solution for this. There is one solution, and that is for you to sponsor one of these packages, or scan the QR code, or call us in and make a pledge. Because for some viewers, that one pledge, that one person that is, you know, that is brave enough to call in and speak, that will push others over the edge. It's a domino effect. Everything is a domino effect. What do you think, Yasir?
With everything you just said, I always focus on one package. That is the emergency medical care. Because Sayyid Muhsin knows, I've mentioned on the show, I edited some of these videos. And most of the effects of why these children have become widows is because they lost their father to an illness, or their father got in an accident and they couldn't afford the medical treatment to heal him, to cure him. And even the mothers are saying, I can't do anything. I can't help these kids because I have diabetes, or my leg hurts, or my eyesight has been weakened, and I can't afford the treatment to cure myself, to help these children. So why can't people like us, people that live in the West, that have been blessed with wealth, that have been blessed with some sort of income, to help these children that have no income? There's children that are 8 years old. This boy, who's probably 7 or 8, leaves his house every day and pushes a cart to collect 1,000, 2,000 dinar, to then buy rotten tomatoes to have for dinner. Why does a child have to do that, brothers and sisters? You imagine yourself as a child, imagine your children. Do they leave at 8 years old thinking, I need to make money so I can eat rotten tomatoes or rotten fruit or vegetables for dinner? No, they don't. So why are you allowing these children to go through that? Their life has changed completely from living a normal childhood where they're playing games, kicking a football, to now taking the role as a breadwinner for the house. Why is this fair, brothers and sisters? And what amazes me is that emergency medical care is only £100. For £100, brothers and sisters, you have the power to stop these kids from becoming orphans, to stop these mothers from becoming widows, because maybe from that emergency medical care, that's a measly £100, you could have saved the father, or you could have saved the mother, or the child from getting ill, for them to live longer, and maybe the father to live longer and become a breadwinner. Brothers and sisters, the details are on your screens. Call in now, 0203 515 1122. Scan the QR code. Talk to your mother, talk to your father, talk to your brethren, and say, you know what? Let's all come in. Let's all put in a certain amount and pledge it.
Do you know, a very, very passionate monologue by Brother Yasir, which, do you know, it hits hard. Why? Because at some point, and this is addressed to, I will probably say, every Iraqi in the West, at some point in your parents' lives, they were in this situation. Because I can say my parents were.
Yes.
My parents were in refugee camps.
Wow.
My parents were waiting for that international aid. My parents were waiting for people like you. And one day, and inshallah with the barakat of Aba Abdullah al-Hussein and Sayyidah Khadijah alayhim as-salam, one day the son of one of these people will come and stand here in my position and present the show and beg you guys, because he will know what this feels like. Just like I know what my parents went through, I do not wish it upon any of them, let alone my worst enemy. We don't wish that upon anyone.
No.
So brothers and sisters, £30 for an iftar package, £1,400 for a water well. You're supplying water. My Lord, Aba Abdullah al-Hussein alayhi salam. We cry for him every year. Some of you cry for Aba Abdullah al-Hussein when it's time for afrah, when it's time to be joyous. Why? Because you can't help to think that you have a joyful moment in your life when Aba Abdullah had a miserable 3 days of his life. Some of you cry for Aba Abdullah al-Hussein outside of Muharram. We know. Because we believe that every single one of you watching is a mu'min. Now, water. Get together with your families. MashaAllah, yani the Asian and the Middle Eastern community, families are huge.
Yes.
4 or 5 uncles and there's about 30 kids.
Yeah.
And none of you are young. Yani mashallah 18 and above. This is what you're providing. These are the people you're providing for.
I think this was a previous project in Afghanistan where we gave a water well, and you can see how many people have turned up to get fresh, clean water because there is no water in the village available, and they've come with the gallons. Each gallon is probably about 5 to 10 liters, but they've not come to just get a little bit of water and go home. They've come to get probably a day, 2 days supply of water because they can't keep coming back and forth. But fresh, clean water is, what they use for drinking, what they use for sanitizing, what they use for washing, and in some parts, especially where we're helping in Pakistan, they use that fresh clean water for agriculture to grow their crops, which they can further on sell and then make money and so forth. I'm going to ask Yasser because you're quite well versed in this, the sadaqah jariyah of having a water well. How does it affect and benefit an individual if they were to help make a water
The
well?
past few live shows that we've done, we mentioned a hadith where I can't remember what Imam, astaghfirullah, but an Imam said alayhi salam that, no, I remember, it was Imam Zain al-Abidin salamullah alayhi, where he said that a man that gives water to a place where there is no water is as if he has saved all mankind. Now let's leave sadaqah jariyah for a second. Brothers and sisters, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will tell that angel on your right shoulder to write down that you get the thawab of saving all mankind. For what? For what? For bringing your uncles, your aunties, your brothers, your friends, telling them, give me £100 each. Let's put a water well in a place where there is no clean water. Brothers and sisters, the sadaqah jariyah on this is that even if you pass away, your parents pass away, even if you do it in the name of your marhum, they continue to get thawab every second. Even a drop of that water helps someone. Every sip they swallow to quench their thirst. Brothers and sisters, just like Minhal said, we remember Aba Abdullah alayhi salam, and that he died thirsty alongside his companions and family. Why do we not remember that we cry for these personalities, but we let it to continue with children like these?
Yani they shouldn't be carrying this stuff. They should have free flowing water in their homes.
This is embarrassing. We cry for Sukaina, for Ruqayyah, for Ali Asghar. We cry for these personalities every year. And when we say, Ya laytana kunna ma'akum, if only we were there with you, brothers and sisters, this is our test.
Just look at the effort at which she's pumping the water. She's in disbelief that there is free flowing water. And look at all of them. Probably walking back home happy that they're gonna have free clean water. 2.2 billion people, brothers and sisters. That is not a joke. That's a quarter of humanity. 2.2 billion people do not have clean water. Now, if you don't want to go for the £1,400, then here's another sadaqah jariyah for you. We'll put that as a sadaqah jariyah. Because most things here can be a sadaqah jariyah.
100%.
Yeah. Because if you provide, let's say, an iftar package, that probably gets that one person through the night for them to work the next day, and it just starts a domino effect. £500 will teach someone a life skill. That is, for example, teaching the women sewing.
Yes.
Or teaching the men how to, for example, cook and work in a restaurant. Or teaching them, I don't know, carpentry.
How to cut hair.
How to barbering.
How to drive a bus.
And mashallah in Iraq, the hairstyles are crazy. The hairstyles in Iraq are crazy.
We see everyone buying them.
Just hairspray will cost you 5,000 dinar. At least let us teach them how to spray hair. How to gel someone's hair up.
I mean, the main thing, Minhal, is that when you teach, if you give someone a fish, they'll eat for a day. But if you teach someone to fish, you'll feed them for a lifetime.
Yeah.
And the reality is that what we're trying to do is help impoverished families and impoverished people get out of poverty themselves. Rather than them sitting there waiting for charity, how about I give you some knowledge where you can, turn it into finance yourself? How about I teach you how to cut hair?
Turn it into an income.
You can go work at a barber shop and one day own your own barber shop. And then who knows, you go into teaching and you own a barbering school.
Yeah.
Maybe we can teach you how to sew. And then you can start by, making abayas or making distashat. And then from there, who knows, you go on to having your own successful factory and then you're supplying so many different companies and so forth.
Now, brothers and sisters, look, if there's one thing I want you to take from this, is don't forget where your roots originate. Because at some point, maybe your father, maybe your grandfather, maybe your mother, maybe your grandmother, at one point they were in this situation. And if you were to ask them, were you ever in poverty, were you ever poor? They'll either tell you yes, or they know that their grandparents were. Because no one starts off with with money, and no one starts off like that. People always start from the bottom. These people are at the bottom and they need your help. So 0203 515 1122, £30 for an iftar package, £1,400 for a water well, £50 to sponsor an orphan, £500 to teach a life skill, £100 for medical expenses. Now, I know a lot of you, on Eid day, before Eid, by let's say a day or two, you'll go out and many of the brothers and sisters will go to, for example, Selfridges, or they'll go to these big high-end department stores where you'll buy clothing and you'll buy, you have every right to. But I want from you, brothers and sisters, don't buy the latest pair of Air Force Ones. Many people have to have Air Force Ones, correct, Sayyid Muhsin? Many people have to have them. They're £110. I want that £110 for you to give to one of these orphans. A pair of shoes that you're going to wear and you're going to look cool with your friends with. For one Ramadan, don't look cool. Buy every other designer you want. But just that pair of shoes, donate it to these. £110. Because we know that many brothers and many sisters, and it's their hard-earned money. And we are not ones to tell you where to spend it, by all means. We are just trying to encourage you to give it in the name of Sayyidah Khadijah alayhi salam. To give that £110 in the name of Sayyidah Khadijah alayhi salam. To give to these people. Wallah, yani look, some of them don't have shoes on. Their clothes are probably bought.
You see the one at the end, he's barefoot, the one next to him barefoot. This one in the blue, barefoot. And unfortunately for them, when they go out to play, where they live is really bad. It's like a landfill site.
Yeah.
There's so much rubbish. There's broken glass, broken plastic, there's stones. God forbid if there's injections and needles and so forth. And that's their playground. That's where they get to play.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? For these kids, poverty is the only reality that they know. They haven't seen what it's like to live well, you wouldn't say a luxury life, but a standard life. Standard where you have clean water, a standard where you have a roof over your head, you have clothes that you could change and wash, and you have shoes on your feet, and so forth. But this is the reality for so many orphans. Brothers
Sayyid
and
Muhsin,
sisters.
let's see the video that they want to play right now.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I'm in Karbala in a place called Al-Amal, which is like the hope. In the far distance you can see the Karbala football stadium, but not far from there is this landfill site. And believe it or not, there's some settlements here as well, where some poor families, unfortunately, this is the only space they could find in order to set up a home. And what they do is, believe it or not, is they go into this landfill site and they pick out items that they can recycle, wood, plastic, and so forth. If you see behind it, there's a tent. On the other side of the tent is where they organize wood, cardboard, plastic, and so forth. And for a lot of these children here, a lot of these orphans, and a lot of these children who come from impoverished families, a lot of these children that come from impoverished families, they have to go into this landfill site and they have to help pull out plastic, wood, and other materials in order to recycle. Now these kids should be focusing on education, these kids should be playing, enjoying their childhood, but they're forced into work because their family are so poor and impoverished. Furthermore, these kids want to play, and if they play, where do they play? They play here. This is their playground. A landfill site. You can see over there, there's water, contaminated water. I don't know if you can see that, but there's a dead body there as well. There's a cat or a dog or something. This is where the children get to play. This is where the children, go to work. And there's broken glass. Look at some of these children. They don't even have shoes. Look. And it's not their fault. At the IHC, we have many projects to help children like this. Whether you're sponsoring an orphan, whether you're helping a child get education, whether you're giving a food basket to feed, but that's still not enough. We're doing what we can here at the IHC, but we can't do it without your help.
As you saw there, brothers and sisters, that is the reality of millions across the world. And that's just a small area that we've shown you. Now, we do have a caller on the line, so we say Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, wassalamu alaikum.
Hello, assalamu alaikum, are you there?
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah.
Can I have your name and where you're calling from?
My name is Sayyid Murtada and I'm calling from my wife's car.
Ahlan, Sayyid Murtada. We are awaiting you backstage. How are you?
Yes, I'm on my way, but I saw 3 of my favorite presenters on set, and even today's poster even said Ali, so I was like, I have to call in.
كل الهلا أهلا وسهلا. Sayyid Murtada, you've worked closely with Sayyid Muhsin, who went on these trips to see the people of Iraq, and he saw the condition that they were living in. What message do you have? Because I know you see everything that goes on. You've got the Hawkeye on Imam Hussein TV and Imam Hussein Charity. What, if there's one thing you want to tell them now.
Habibi min hal. I've been going to Iraq for many years from when I was about 14, 15.
Yeah.
Alhamdulillah. And every year that I go, I used to always think to myself, oh mashallah, look how the people of Iraq are happy, look how happy these kids are, look how happy the families are. Then one of the years, Alhamdulillah, Imam Hussein Charity gave me the opportunity to go with them for some filming. And then we went on the outskirts of Karbala and other cities around of Iraq. And then it was an eye-opener whereby I saw people from my own country living in such conditions and not being able to feed themselves. And each single family that I met, the only one thing they had in their hearts was the love towards Imam Hussein and towards serving. So to me is, why can't we make these kids happy, these lovers of Imam Hussein happy, and by supporting them. So it's an eye-opener when you see such families in Karbala.
Now, Sayyid Murtada, I'm going to put you on the spot, as I always do with you. How much are you going to give? And believe me, brothers and sisters, I'm taking it out of his pocket when he comes in.
Today's the night of Shahr Khadijah alayhi salam. And she was one of the wealthy and generous of the faith. So why can't we all put something from our wealth, like she did towards the message of the Ahlul Bayt, and she put from her own wealth into Islam. So I think every viewer that's watching today could put something in her name as a sanaa for Shahada. So I'd like to put £30 for an orphan, inshallah.
Allah salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Say, Murtada, £30 is for an iftar package. You wanted to sponsor an orphan and you can't go back on your word because the orphan will look at you. The sponsoring of an orphan Sayyid is £50, so you're going to have to increase it by 20, inshallah. And the brothers at the back will take it from you.
Inshallah, it'll be 50, and I'm also bringing a box of donuts in the name of Sayyidah Khadijah as well. So that's
Ya Allah. Ya Allah. Muhammad. Thank you so much, Sayyid Murtada. We appreciate your call. Yasser.
Yes.
It's the life of, it's the martyrdom or the death of Sayyidah Khadijah alayhi salam. What story do you remember of her giving?
There's of Sayyidah Khadijah Salamullah alayha. You know, on the night of a death like this, we remember a lot. But if I could just maybe just divert the question a bit.
Let's hear it.
Instead of saying a story of Sayyidah Khadijah giving, I want to say how Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam saw her giving her wealth to Islam. That every time she would give, and every time that she gave her wealth, and realize when they say gave her wealth, we know that when Sayyidah Khadijah died, Rasulullah said that they had no money to even afford a kafan for her.
Yeah.
That's how much of her wealth she gave away. And what I realize is Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam never stopped her saying, wait, we need to buy food for tomorrow, wait, we need to pay for the house, wait, we might need to buy this, we might need to buy that, let's first prepare for our deaths, let's buy everything we need. No, he said give, and know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give it back to you. That's why I keep repeating in these nights that in Shahr Ramadan, especially this Shahr, where the doors of mercy have opened, before, brothers and sisters, you would have to knock. When you ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for something, the methal is you are knocking on His door. But no, in Shahr Ramadan, those gates, those doors have opened. So if we want to look at Sayyidah Khadijah like an inspiration, or look at her and say, you know what, I want to be like her, and I want to give my wealth like her. Brothers and sisters, you do not need to worry about maybe losing your wealth or becoming poor. For Imam Ja'far Sadiq alayhi salam, I think has said, if you are pushed to poverty, make an exchange, make a deal with God by being generous, by doing charity. So brothers and sisters, if you think that you're going to lose your wealth, lose that money that you are donating, you are quite mistaken. For Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala promises you that whenever you give, you will get tenfold back. So pick up that phone, because Brother Minhal said as soon as you call in and pledge, it starts a domino effect that will push someone else to call and pledge, call someone else to pledge, and will cause a domino effect on all these people to think, you know what, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has blessed me, that every night I go downstairs, I see my mum, I see my dad, I see my brothers all eating iftar, and we have so many options. But there are orphans, brothers and sisters, that are fasting and have nothing to break their fast with. They are fasting, but when it hits 7:45 and it's time to eat, time to drink, they don't drink and they don't eat because they have nothing to feed themselves. The parents have nothing to give to them. So why can't you share what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has blessed you with? And donate. An iftar pack for 30 days can feed a family for God knows how many days. £50, you sponsor an orphan, you change his life. He can pay to go to school. He can pay for food, for clothing, for school supplies. £100 for emergency medical care. You can prevent a child becoming an orphan by saving his father or saving his mother. You can prevent an orphan going into an illness and being scared of death at the age of 8 or 9 by just giving that emergency medical care so that they can afford the medical fees to maybe live and have a normal life.
How do they do that, Yasser?
You pick up the phone, 0203 515 1122. Scan the QR code, go on the website. Do whatever you can.
I think Brother Yasser's monologue has been so powerful that before we let him go, brothers and sisters, I want to read out a few donations.
Inshallah.
Because these have just come in.
Inshallah.
$100, £45, £30, £60,
Allah.
and $36 with a salawat ala Muhammad. وآل محمد.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل
Muhammad.
محمد.
Brother Yasser, thank you so much for your
so
time.
much.
We really appreciate
Thank
you
very
coming
much.
here.
Absolutely.
And in honor of that powerful monologue, brothers and sisters, we are going to show you a short video. And right after that, me and Sayyid Muhsin will be back with a brand new guest. Stay with us.
شو تتمنى بالحياة؟
عايز مدرسة.
بس مدرسة؟ بابا موجود ويسمعك. شو تحاكي؟ شو تودي له رسالة؟ شو تسولف وياه؟
بس يريد يجي.
بس تريده يجي؟
يا يمه يا يمه حتى مو بس هذول أولاده، حتى هذا شوفه قاسي وقاسي والله العظيم هو مدللهم.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Really sad stories here where, you know, the grandmother there was talking about her son and that he was the one providing, and she said, the way she said it was that it was heaven. Whatever we needed, whatever we wanted, we had. But when the accident happened, she not only just lost her son, which, you know, no mother should go through, but also they lost, you know, riches, they became poor. And now she's saying, I don't have anything, I don't have a car, I don't have, you know, toys to give to these kids, I don't have anything. Even, you know, their uncle, her other son, fell into deep depression because of losing, you know, his brother, and also gaining such big responsibilities to look after these orphans. It's families like these and it's times like these is that where we need to step in and we need to help. Now, brothers and sisters, I urge you to try and help this family by providing whatever you can. For this family, it's not their fault, it's not these children's fault that they're in this situation. And believe you me, these kids are like, their hearts are like gold. When I came in, I said salam, they were smiling at me. They were happy to see a guest. You know, they were playing with animals that they've got here. Birds, a rabbit I've seen, there's a dog as well. And even when we gave them biscuits to eat and so forth, they came and offered their grandma first before they were eating themselves. These kids have hearts of gold, and in each one of these children lies a potential. This one could be a nurse, this one could be an engineer, a doctor, a lawyer, a scholar. All of these children have the potential of being something more, whether it's a nurse or a doctor, or an engineer, a scholar, a celebrity, an actor. All they need is a level playing field for them to really reach their true potential. Brothers and sisters, you can be the one to provide them that level playing field and be the one to change this around. No one deserves to live like this, and no one deserves to live in poverty. But with your help, these children can reach their true potential, and the baby there in the back can maybe smile instead of crying.
Every donation, no matter how small, has the power to make a difference and change lives for the better.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, in Surah Al-Duha, He says, فَأَمَّا الْيَتِيمَ فَلَا تَقْهَرْ. And the orphan, do not upset the orphan. Now these are all orphans. Now behind me you can see Sayyid Muhsin playing football with an orphan. Now this moment, Sayyid Muhsin, is probably the highlight of this little orphan's life.
Arguably, probably the highlight of his day, I'd say, but definitely, I mean, for them, you see them, they're playing football over there,
yeah,
in the thing. I was just watching them play. Football is a outlet for them.
Look how happy he is, just to see you. Look how happy they are.
He was.
Yani, if the presence of Sayyid Muhsin made them happy, imagine the presence of a few cash, a bit of money from the hands of Sayyid Muhsin. Come on, brothers and sisters, £30 for an iftar pack, £1,400. By the way, you know when you go to Iraq, when you go ziyarah, and you have the 1,000 dinar, the 1,000 dinar, you know if you give this to these, they'll start running around, jumping around.
It's like finding a £50 note on the floor. That's what it's the equivalent of, finding a £50 note on the floor.
Imagine.
If you give them and you know what, 1,000 dinar It's not even a pound.
It's 50p.
It's
50p.
No, it's less than that. I think it's like 30 pence now.
Something like that.
It's very, very little.
It's pennies.
And
It's
for
pennies.
these guys, it's an amazing.
Now, Sayyid
amazing
Muhsin, tell us about the
difference.
video that the brothers and sisters saw in that VC.
So what you saw before, a young grandmother, believe it or not, whose son passed away, and the son was the main patriarch. He was the main provider in the household, and like she said, whatever I wanted, I got.
Wow.
Whatever I needed was taken care of.
Wow.
The utility bills were taken care of. You know, I'm not sure if that was a house or it was rent, but there was no need. The rent was taken care of.
Yeah.
Whatever we wanted, we want to eat this today. We want to go there. We want new clothes. We want new shoes. Whatever they wanted, he provided, and they were happy. And then his life was taken, and all of a sudden, it wasn't whatever we want. It was we just want the basics. Now I remember going into that house. That house was 3 rooms and a kitchen, and there was so many kids living there, so many children. We've all been orphaned now, and they were really, really struggling. I mean, they were like, where do we get money from now? When the little children asked now, then you have to understand, this was their lifestyle before. Daddy, I want this. Daddy, I want that. Daddy, can you get me this? It was there. Now, where's Daddy? I want this. I can't afford it. I want that. Baba, when I have the money for it, I'll try to buy it for you. But that money's not coming. The Bibi there with her daughter-in-law, she had like 7, 8 children who have become yatim now. And to be honest, I'll be fair, the father who passed away, his brother is trying to help.
Yeah.
But he's not making enough.
Yeah.
And it's struggling. It's not a case of
he's just got about as much as he can provide for his own family.
Exactly. And then now he's taken on the burden, or not the burden, let's just say the responsibility.
Yeah.
And you know, losing a brother is I come from a family, I have 3 younger brothers, there's 4 of us.
I've got 1 younger brother.
You know?
It's horrible.
And to lose one of my brothers, it will be absolutely distraught. I don't know what I do to lose a brother. And you know what I mean, praise be to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on the day of Ashura, where you know, Rasul with Abu Abdullah Hussein lost his brother Abu Fadl, which was very, very difficult.
Not just Abu
very, very hard.
Not just Abu
But yeah,
Ja'far, Uthman,
exactly.
Abdullah.
Many of Imam Ali's sons were taken on that day, and you know it is so dreadful. And for that young man, he went into depression when his brother passed away. Now the responsibility of his brother's children and his mother, and he's trying, and it's not enough. You know, they don't know where to spend the money, whether it's on, you know, electricity, on food and so forth. But brothers and sisters, you guys can get involved. You guys can donate towards iftar pack, which is here on the screen right now. 100,000 packs we're trying to do, I think, this year. That's our target. 100,000 packages. Now, where are the packages going, Minhal? These packages are going to be given Najaf, Karbala, Samawa, where Minhal is from. Also in the south, in
they do need
like
help down there.
And you know, also in Janub and other places in the south, Basra and so forth. And then there's also the packages go towards Afghanistan. Last year we managed to send 1,000 packs to a place called Harat in Afghanistan, which we do a lot of work, especially in the winter time, where we have the cold
Look at all the packages.
That was the year before. This was 2 years ago.
I think this was 6,000.
Yeah, this is during
COVID
COVID time. COVID time, we managed to do 6,000 packs and 1,000
with the restrictions.
Indeed.
With the preventions.
Yes.
With by the way, during COVID, the Iraqi checkpoints would close at about 8 p.m., 9 p.m., which was the ideal time where there wasn't any traffic for our volunteers to actually distribute the packages. I believe we have a caller, but we'll take that in a bit. But it was the ideal time for the trucks and the lorries to go to these cities to distribute the packages. It was so difficult, yet 6,000 packages, meaning 6,000 families have been fed across Iraq during the years of COVID. This year, my brothers and sisters, Shahr Ramadan, by the end of it, we want, with your help, with you donating towards the £30 or the £50 or any of the packages below, anyhow, we want to reach 100,000 packages. Inshallah. In the name of Sayyidah Khadijah, let's have the biggest push we can tonight. Because tonight means everything. And we have the wilada of Kareem al-Muhammad, the generous of al-Muhammad. Inshallah, the wilada is coming soon, where I am expecting a huge
Inshallah.
Huge push by all of you.
Inshallah.
Pick up your phones, 0203 515 1122. And inshallah, before I let Sayyid Muhsin tell us about all the packages and where they go, we'll take the next caller on the line and say Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum, brother.
Alaikum salam wa rahmatullah.
Your name and where you're calling from?
My name is Hussein. I'm calling from Croydon.
MashaAllah, MashaAllah. South London. Very nice, very nice. How's your Ramadan going this month?
Beautiful. It's beautiful, man. And you know, you guys are making it better, man. Just watching you guys. You're doing a fantastic job, man. So big love to you, lot.
Thank you for your support and your love. And we really appreciate all those who support the channel and definitely those who support the charity. Brother, how much are you going to be donating tonight?
Well, can I do £50 for the orphans, please?
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
Ahsant.
What motivated you to donate towards the orphans? What inspired you? Why are you donating £50 tonight?
Do you know what? I'll be honest with you. Like, I was just watching you lot talking. I mean, the brother on the right, I don't know your name, brother, but you know, you've been there, you've seen them, you've hugged them, and I thought, you know what? I'm sitting here on my couch. The least I can do is pick up the phone and give you guys a call, you know?
Inshallah. Thank you so much.
I really appreciate it.
I mean, that's why I went, was to show people like you the real situation, you know, on the ground of what's happening in Iraq and with these orphans, and you know, the desperation and you know, the priority that is required for these people. If you don't see it, then you're not going to know this. It's all right, me and Minhal here just talking about, oh, they need your help, this and that. But when you see it, and when they look at the camera and they ask you, that's when, you know, it really touches the heart, and that's when you actually see the severity of the situation. Brother, thank you so much for your donation. Is there any words of inspiration or motivation you can give to others who are watching? Inshallah, they'll hear you and they will start to donate.
You know, I don't really know what to say apart from, you know, just when it's time to do something good, just pick up the phone. Just pick up the phone and just do it. Don't even think about it, because Shaitan's going to try to stop you. Just do it.
Thank you, Brother Hussein from South London. We really appreciate your donation, your support, and your £50 will go towards an orphan, and it helps with buying clothes for an orphan.
Definitely.
It goes towards paying for school equipment.
Yeah.
It goes towards their school tuition. It goes towards traveling to school.
Definitely.
And if need be, it helps around with the house with utility bills or rent and so forth. But it's just to lessen the financial burden on that family and to give this child the best possible chance at education and a better future.
Now, brothers and sisters, the orphans are calling you, the widows are calling you, and those who are in need are calling you. Across the world and across the countries of Iraq, Pakistan and Afghanistan, and globally, the countries and the people that we are supporting, we are just doing the best that we can. And these packages are testimony to what we are doing. And these videos, you know, there isn't all this editing and these dramatic effects and everything. It's literally Sayyid Muhsin and the camera following him with a microphone attached and showing you everything. Now, this wallah, it's not some...
We had to blur it out, but that was a dead carcass of a cat, believe it or
Wow.
not. And this is where the children play, by the way. The children are playing with rubble, with glass, broken glass, plastic and so forth. And
by the way, they're not playing, they're collecting the plastic to sell.
Yeah, that's right.
They're collecting metal to sell.
If I can break it down for you, this is near Karbala football stadium, and the ground actually belongs to the club as well. What they've done is they've made like a little temporary accommodation.
It's tents.
Indeed, there was 4 or 5 families living there.
Can we replay that video, please?
There was 4 or 5 families living there, and there was about 50 children, right? And all of the women are widows, right? All the husbands are gone.
Yeah.
They would have been like the husband's younger brother or this or that or so forth. And the land that they were living on was belonging to the Karbala football stadium. Authorities would come and say, you are settled on illegal land. This land doesn't belong to you. You have to move. And they were like, where can we move? We can't. There's the football stadium there.
Oh yeah,
that
right
big
there,
That's
right
the Karbala football stadium, right? Apparently this is bought. They want to turn this into a car park or something for the football stadium. But they've developed and made their own little recycling center where they go to the landfill and they pick up any plastic, wood, cardboard, glass, metal and so forth. And that's what the children are doing as well to help with their mothers. And then that gets packed up, sorted, packed up. Then they go to the other recycling centers or factories or so forth, and they try and sell the materials on
for pennies.
For pennies. And obviously this is the only option they have. You know what I mean? There's nothing else that they can do. This is the only way for them to make money. And then on top of that, the authority comes. So when we were here, some of the elders of that area came to us and said, "Who are you with? Why are you here? Are you here to try and move us?"
Wow.
And we said, "No, we're with Imam Hussein Charity. We've come for the orphans. We've come to, help and make some videos."
Just look at that old lady there.
We gave some of these orphans, we gave them some gifts as well to show that we're not from the authorities. But it did get a little heated, and we did have to leave because, as you are very well aware, Iraq can be a very dangerous place.
Yeah.
So we had to get out of there, otherwise there was more
they were
filming.
suspicious of you guys.
Yeah. So
see, brothers and sisters, because of the fear they live in, of being taken away from their homes, or what you can't even call that a home. That is not something you can call a home. This environment is not something you can call a home. So brothers and sisters, call to action: £30 for an iftar pack, £1,400 for a water well, £500 to teach someone a skill like an apprenticeship, £50 to sponsor an orphan, £100 for medical aid. And with that, I'd love to call upon our dear guest and dear Sayyid, who you saw a couple moments earlier on your screens, Sayyid Ali Nawab. We welcome him with a loud salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
Allah salli ala Muhammad
wa ali Muhammad.
How are you?
Sayyid Ali, it's good to see you.
Brother Minhal, Brother Sayyid Muhsin, it's an honor to be standing here amongst you, and inshallah,
it's our honor to be
what
in your
will
presence.
be inshallah a fruitful session, encouraging mu'mineen, mu'minat to dig deeper into their pockets and to help and provide a helping hand for all of those orphans and widows in Iraq and Pakistan.
Before
and
we begin, I must say, because Sayyidina, you are from Karbala, that is your home city, and I managed to visit around the outskirts, places like Hor and Hayl Rasul, Hayl Akbar, and places like that. You go to Karbala almost every year. Have you seen the situation when it comes to orphans and widows, and how difficult and how bad is the situation there?
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Let me start with the verses of the Holy Quran. It is the month of the Holy Quran. It is the month of the riwayat and the ayat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and Ahlul Bayt alayhim as-salam, which encourage mu'mineen, mu'minat to give, because it is the month of barakat. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alif Lam Mim. ذلك الكتاب لا ريب فيه هدى للمتقين الذين يؤمنون بالغيب ويقيمون الصلاة. This verse in the Holy Quran in chapter Al-Baqarah speaks about those individuals who like to call themselves mu'mineen and mu'minat, who call themselves Muslims, who carry the banner of Islam, who practice, who live and take Islam as a lifestyle for themselves. Allah praises those individuals in the Holy Quran. Allah first of all speaks about the Holy Book. Allah is referring us and asking us to go back to the Holy Book. ذَلِكَ الْكِتَابِ لَا رَيْبَ فِيهِ. There is no wrong, there is no mistakes, there is no confusion in that book. لَا رَيْبَ فِيهِ هُدًى. It has guidance for who? For the muttaqeen. And who are the muttaqeen? الَّذِينَ يُؤْمِنُونَ بِالْغَيْبِ. Those who believe in the unseen, in the hereafter. One of the meanings of الَّذِينَ يُؤْمِنُونَ بِالْغَيْبِ, my dear brothers and sisters, you are the followers of Rasulullah, Nabi al-Rahmah, Imam al-Rahmah, the Imam of Mercy. We are standing here as my brothers, the respected presenters of this respectful show alluded before me. We are in the days and nights, we are remembering an honorable great individual by the name of As-Sayyida Khadijah al-Kubra, al-Mu'mineen, the mother of the believers. If you truly believe in the message of Islam and you see yourself, you are a believer, then Khadijah is a mother to you. Now, don't you listen to your mother? Do you not sit down and listen to the advice your mother gives you, your father gives you? We sit down here and we stand and we remember Khadijah al-Kubra, salamullahi alayha. Khadijah al-Kubra, before couple of minutes before I came on, you mentioned the name of Imam Al-Hasan Salamullahi alayhi, and you gave him his title and you said Kareem wa Ahl al-Bayt. I want to ask a question to every single brother and sister sitting at home. You finished your iftar, alhamdulillah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala continue showering you and your families with his blessings. Imam Al-Hasan Salamullahi alayhi, he is titled the most generous out of Ahl al-Bayt. Where did he get this virtue from?
Good question.
These virtues they inherit. When we sit down and we recite the dua and the ziyarah of Imam al-Hussein and the rest of Ahl al-Bayt alayhum as-salam, one of the sections of the ziyarat is you say Assalamu alayka ya ibn Khadijah al-Kubra. Assalamu alayk, peace be upon you, O son of Khadijah. What did Imam al-Hasan salamullahi alayhi inherit from his grandmother Khadijah? In few nights, inshallah, we will all be celebrating. We will be organizing celebrations at home, inviting our friends and family, providing an iftar banquet, providing sweets, because we are celebrating the Imam of generosity. Imam al-Hasan salamullahi alayhi inherited generosity from his grandmother Khadijah al-Kubra. I think the title should be given to Khadijah before Imam al-Hasan. Kareematu Ahl al-Bayt salamullahi alayha. As-Sayyida Khadijah, the lady that did not think twice, did not think for a second that am I going to give away everything I have and how am I going to live tomorrow? What am I going to put in front of my husband, the holy messenger of Allah? He is not a normal person. He's going to come back home the next day. Am I going to be able to provide him with clean water? Am I going to provide him with food? Khadijah didn't think a split second. Why? Because الَّذِينَ يُؤْمِنُونَ بِالْغَيْبِ, there is a day and there is a time and there is a way that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave back more than what Khadijah salamullahi alayha gave towards Islam. And what Khadijah gave towards Islam is not something simple, brothers and sisters. Khadijah al-Kubra, and I haven't forgotten your question by the way. Khadijah al-Kubra salamullahi alayha, Rasulullah describes her, Rasulullah Khatamul Anbiya, Khairul Khalq. There isn't anyone that was created better than Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam. When he describes someone, he describes them as they deserve, and Khadijah deserves this. Ma qama al-Islamu wa la istaqam. Rasulullah uses two words to describe Khadijah salamullahi alayha and Amirul Mu'mineen. Islam as a body has a main body. The body of Islam was Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam. The right wing of Islam was Amirul Mu'mineen salamullahi alayhi. And the left wing of Islam was the Honorable Ummul Mu'mineen, Khadijatul Kubra. Rasulullah describes these two individuals. Ma qama al-Islam وَلَا اسْتَقَامَ. What is the difference between them? Maqam al-Islam is that Rasulullah alongside Amir al-Mu'mineen and Sayyida Khadijah al-Kubra, they help to build the base and the foundation of Islam. وَلَا اسْتَقَامَ, that in thousands of years to come, 1400 years now, we are standing here in a studio in London. They contributed for Islam to stay strong. Maqam al-Islam ولا استقام إلا بمال خديجة وسيف أمير المؤمنين صلوات الله وسلام عليكم. Brothers and sisters, I don't need to give you a lecture here. My presence here is merely to encourage myself, my brother.
Sit down, Sayyid, and listen to your lecture.
It needs, when you speak about Ahl al-Bayt and specifically Khadijah, you need lectures and lectures.
Of course.
And I remain to answer Sayyid Muhsin's question.
You didn't answer it.
I haven't answered.
Yeah.
So, do you have a phone call or?
I don't have a phone call, but I wanted to say something. But you go ahead. Finish.
Sayyid Muhsin asked me. I am from Karbala. I am, alhamdulillah, and this is an honor, and I am proud. But every single one of us can be Husseiniyin. Every single one of us can be from Karbala. And the fact that I am from Karbala, yes.
Okay.
The fact that we carry the love of Imam Hussein alayhi salam, where we say the burial site and the shrine of Imam Hussein is not in Karbala, it's in our hearts.
Yeah, of course.
So you are automatically
Karbala'i
Husseini. So when you ask me, Sayyidina, you've gone to Karbala, alhamdulillah, have you come close to scenes like this? Surely I have. For Salatul Fajr, brothers and sisters, the Zuwar of Abi Abdullah.
Yeah.
When you wake up and you want to go to the ziyarah of Imam Hussein Salamullahi alayhi, of course the streets and the roads leading to the shrine of Imam Hussein are going to be empty because most people are going to be asleep in that section of the city. But who do you see?
That's one point I wanted to bring, yeah.
You see women, females, driving carts being pulled by horses or donkeys.
Yeah.
With sacks, one for dried bread, one for plastic.
Yeah.
And you don't know to feel sorry for the lady or to feel sorry for the animal that is pulling the cart, because of it's suffering, because it can't get enough food, because the owners are poor. But at the end of the day, they are trying to make a living. So they wait until all the zuwar, all the restaurants, all the homes, they shut down, they close, people are asleep in the darkness of the night, so they can preserve their dignity and humility. So no one, and they don't just come like that. I've seen, and Imam Hussein is my witness, that these women, these ladies, they cover their faces as if they are doing something wrong, as if they don't want anyone to see them and recognize them. This is how people are living, brothers and sisters. And I know this is not only the case in Karbala, and this is not only the case in Iraq. This is the case in every poor country around the world. This is the case in Pakistan, in Afghanistan, in parts of the Arabian Peninsula. There are people who are living a poor lifestyle. And it lies on us, brothers and sisters. We are only a means. We are only a tool to encourage mu'mineen, mu'minat. I am speaking to you directly in the name of Khadijah al-Kubra. However much you have love for this great lady in your hearts, you ate your iftar, alhamdulillah, and alif afi, as we say in Arabic. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala continue His blessings upon you. But I think let's do a justice towards Khadijah al-Kubra.
Sure.
Let's commit to, we've got 6 packages, by the way.
Yeah.
We've got 6 packages ranging from £30 to £1,400.
£1,400.
You choose whatever.
But the 1,400 can be split, brothers and sisters. Now, Sayyid Ali mentioned in his beautiful speech and his beautiful kalam that Sayyidah Khadijah should be given the title of Karimat Ahl al-Bayt. And Imam al-Hassan is Kareem Ahl al-Bayt. But brothers and sisters, Kareem Ahl al-Bayt doesn't mean for you to become generous to your friends and your family. It's for your generosity to shine to those who are in need. Generosity is for those who really need it, not for those that have a roof over their head and can spend as much money as they want and have the best of food and know that when they're going to break their iftar, they're going to look forward to some food. No. Generosity is those packages you see on your screens right now. Generosity is that £30 you give to feed a whole family for a month. Generosity is providing £50 to sponsor an orphan for their clothes and for their school equipment. Generosity is £500 to teach someone a skill, a life skill which they can develop in. By the way, the heart of Sayyid Muhsin, I'm sure you've seen that these orphans have hearts of lions. They don't give up.
They have, how can I say it? They do not stop. They
don't stop.
It's like they're very, very hopeful, very, very optimistic.
Yeah.
Poverty hasn't hit their courage and their joy and their hope in the people. Well, I mentioned it in a different video, inshallah the producers can find the video. But when I was explaining how the house was made, the structural damage and so forth, because we do have a repair shelter campaign as well, £250. They have the alam of Abu Fadil, they have the flag of Imam Hussein, you know, even throughout the extreme poverty and so forth.
Can we play that video before we continue?
Have they got it?
Yeah, they've got it.
Yeah, go ahead, let's go to the video.
Let's play that video. Join us, brothers and sisters, right after this video.
Got a pole holding up the wires. So, these people that are living here, with the bare minimum that they can afford and what they can, grab a hold of, using any materials whatsoever to build. Look, there's wood. They're using twigs for roofs, plastic sheets. I can see some carpet there as well. These bricks have been put together with minimum cement. Even, you know, where we live in the West, we have like health and trading standards and so forth. This would never be allowed in the UK simply because it's not safe, it's not built with the right materials, it's not even stable, and it doesn't even look nice. But these people, they don't have a choice. How are they supposed to live? How are they supposed to, you know, put things together? Using the bare minimum they can. They are, you know, just making buys, going by whatever they can. But look, even though these people are living in poverty, even though it's hard, they still put up the alam of Abu Fadl, the alam of Abu Abdullah Hussein. You can see flags everywhere. They don't give up on their faith. Brothers and sisters, the people you're helping are your own Shia brothers and sisters. It's no random people. These are our own people. And we, as the Shia community and the lovers of Amir al-Mu'mineen and the lovers of Imam Islam, may Allah his real parents, we are the ones that are going to help these people. Because if we don't, no one else is.
That is a difficult video to see.
Yeah, I mean, we were discussing while we were watching.
Yeah.
You see the wooden poles, the whole electricity wires up. Not
Come
safe.
on.
It's really not safe. As in, they're very, very flimsy. They can easily give way. If there's a storm or there's a lot of wind, that will come down. The wires will come crashing down.
Sandstorms happen in Iraq all the time. Now, brothers and sisters, there was one time that me and Sayyid Muhsin, if you remember this, in Arba'een, the first Arba'een we presented together, and we had heard that the Mawkib next door, one of their sons had actually been electrocuted and died there and then.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, and everyone was going to
Everyone
pay the
was
respect.
going.
Every Muwaqib, people in the Muwaqibs were going to pay the respect.
This is what happens on a daily basis in Iraq, by the way, brothers and sisters. Me and Muhsin experienced it firsthand. And for me, it was like I froze.
Yeah.
Because this person has left behind orphans now.
Yeah.
He's left behind children. He's left behind a wife. He's left behind a mother. He's left behind a father.
You think about it, you left your house to do khidmah.
Yeah.
You left your house to serve the zawar.
And that's what a lot of these orphans, their fathers, that's what a lot of them went through. They went to do khidmah, they went to ziyarah, they went to serve the zawar of Imam Hussein, the likes of yourselves, brothers and sisters, during Arba'een, where you enjoy the walk from Najaf to Karbala. Right, Sayyidina? Yeah. People enjoy the walk. You walk and you're with your friends, and you're Husseini, and you're listening to the Nawhas and the Latmiyat. But little did you know that the Mawkib you're about to reach in 10 poles has just had a death the night before. And that death has led to those orphans and the widows to wait for an organization like Imam Hussein Charity to come with the aid, because their father had been killed, or their husband had been killed, or their son had been killed. He was just the one that took out 2 weeks of his busy life of running around trying to provide for his family. Just 2 weeks. And mashallah, we say congratulations because there's no better way than to die in the way of Imam Hussein alayhi salam, and in the service of Imam Hussein alayhi salam. But then the father died in the service of Imam Hussein alayhi salam. What better way than a charity under the name of Imam Hussein alayhi salam to provide for his kids? Brothers and sisters, Sayyid Muhsin, I want you to please tell us about the packages on the screen.
Okay, so let us begin with the the main package, which is the iftar pack, which we do in Ramadan.
Yeah.
We do this pack every year, and inside the pack are food essentials such as rice, flour, lentils, spices like salt, pepper, cayenne pepper, paprika, things like that.
Yeah.
There's tea, there's
Food
dried
can't be
lemons, vegetables, there's fruit, fresh meats. You're smiling because I guess you're getting hungry.
No, I'm saying the food can't be bland.
No, obviously
you can't
not.
have bland
obviously
food.
not, especially if you're Pakistani. But anyway, this is all going to Iraq. And so much more. Tomato paste, pastas. There's so much necessities.
£30 gets you a lot, brothers and sisters.
Which is mainly food which has a long shelf life, so that these families can cook in their own time as much as they want and as much as need be without the food going off and so forth. That is what £30. £50 is to sponsor an orphan, and what that does is that it provides an orphan with new clothes, school equipment. It goes towards the tuition fees, school travel, and also to help around the house, whether it's rent or utility bills and so forth, just to lessen the financial burden, so that these children can go and get an education and inshallah become something in the future. We also have was it £100 for the medicine package.
Yeah.
As you are aware, medicines can be very, very expensive in Iraq. Things like insulin injections for the diabetics, dialysis for those with kidney problems, and also for prescriptions and so forth. £100 will help these families, especially the parents, receive the medicine that they require and treatments, so that they can cure themselves and live longer, live healthier, and provide for their children. That's for £100. £250 will get you the shelter repair package, which, as you saw in the last video, and as you can see, as these.
So what would that include? If they, for example, have, let's say, twigs, if they've got, as we saw in that video.
£250, yeah, £250. What that goes towards is to repair these houses. For example, if they need a new ceiling, then it will go towards a new ceiling. If it's to do with the walls, there's holes in the walls and stuff, which is letting the cold in and letting the heat out. It'll help by repairing the houses and putting plasterboards up and so forth.
Yeah.
Maybe there's no electricity going to the house, so maintenance. Getting the wiring done properly so that electricity goes to the house and so forth. So that's what that goes towards. And finally, we have the £500 skills and trade, which will teach orphans and widows a trade that they can use in order for them to get a job, start working, inshallah, in a year or 2 years, have their own business if they learn the trade properly, and help themselves dig themselves out of poverty. And finally, £1,400 will provide a water well in the southern parts of Pakistan, in the villages there, for those villages that have been affected by the floods and earthquakes and so forth, but giving them fresh water for them to drink, for them to sanitize, and for them to use on the agriculture, which they can grow crops and so forth, and sell and make money that way.
Now, Sayyid Ali, in terms of Sayyidah Khadijah, I want you to expand on when you said that Sayyidah Khadijah was the left wing of Islam. Exactly how was she the left wing of Islam?
Well, when we bring the name of Sayyidah Khadijah, the first thing that comes to our mind as a result of listening to majalis, as a result of listening to lectures, reading books, is that she only gave away her money.
Yeah, that's what I used to
hear. Sayyidah Khadijah salamullahi alayha, not only that she gave away her wealth didn't only comprise of silver and gold. Sayyidah Khadijah salamullahi alayha gave her own adornments, her own jewelry, her own clothing. Sayyidah Khadijah salamullahi alayha, similar to her grandson Imam Hussein salamullahi alayhi, when he many times during his lifetime, go back and search the books of history, Imam Hussein salamullahi alayhi, he used to open the door of his house and invite all of those orphans and all of those in need to come and take every single item in that house.
Wow.
Sayyidah Khadijah done the same thing.
Wow.
Sayyidah Khadijah salamullahi alayha, she had land. Sayyidah Khadijah salamullahi alayha, she had buildings and she had homes. She used to give a whole home, she used to go to give to people. Many of these orphans, these infants, these widows that we see on these videos, we haven't just sent our brothers, our colleagues from Imam Hussein TV in London to go to Karbala, to go other parts of Iraq, just to capture these individuals so we can make you feel sorry for these guys. We want you to contribute in the name of Sayyidah Khadijah.
Look at his eyes, mashallah.
The same way the orphans used to run around in the streets and marketplaces of Mecca, and Sayyidah Khadijah salamullahi alayha, she used to open her door for them. Sayyidah Fatima bint Asad used to have a palm tree in the middle of her house. Every morning the orphans of Mecca would come inside the house of Abu Talib and inside the house of Fatima, and she would give them dates from that palm tree. This is Ahlul Bayt, brothers and sisters. But I don't know what has changed. After 1400 years, we have to stand here, not one day, not 2 days, but the whole month of Ramadan, and literally beg some of the brothers and sisters to extend a hand in their pockets and to give out £30. What is £30? When you sit down on the banquet of iftar every day and you are happy and pleased to see your wife and your children sitting in front of you, breaking their bread with you at the time of iftar, and you are happy to see your 7-year-old son or your 9-year-old daughter encouraged to fasting and you want to break their fast because they've gone weak during the day. Just imagine you've got 2 or 3 of these orphans sitting next to you on the sufra. Averagely, brothers and sisters, averagely, and I'm talking simple iftar, averagely if someone wanted to have iftar, it would cost them £10 or maybe more than that.
Yeah.
So what would change in your lifestyle if you say, I've got 3 orphans of the orphans of Karbala, the ones who carry the banner of Imam Hussein Salamullahi alayhi, the ones, these same orphans, brothers and sisters, you trust me, you ask Sayyid Muhsin, ask all the brothers and sisters, Brother Minhal and those who go for the ziyarah of Abi Abdullah al-Hussein, from Basra until Karbala, it is these orphans that stand and serve the zawar of Abi Abdullah al-Hussein. They give everything they have in their homes. Why? Because they believe in an individual like Khadijah al-Kubra and Imam al-Hassan, because they are kurama. They open their doors physically. Physically they open the doors of their homes and they say, just come. I know you or I don't know you. You are carrying the name of Zair al-Imam al-Hussein. What has changed in 1400 years? Rasulullah, when he used to utter a word into the Muslims and his companions saying, من لهذا الفقير وأنا أضمن له الجنة كافل اليتيم كهاتين في الجنة. Rasulullah says, the one that sponsors a yatim and looks after a yatim is like this with me in the paradise. 1400 years later, what has changed? Is it the fact that there isn't a ma'soom present? A ma'soom is present.
Yeah.
If the Imam of our time was here today, would he neglect these people? Hasha wa kalla. He would come out on television, on international television, and he would say, where are the Muslims? Amir al-Mu'mineen in Nahj al-Balagha says, أَأَبِيتُ بِبْطَانًا وَحَوْلِي بُطُونًا غَرْثًا. Am I happy to sleep the night? And they call me Amir al-Mu'mineen. And I rephrase that, am I going to be happy, satisfied? I go home at night after having a day out with my friends, breaking iftar, having nice suhoor, drinking the drink, and I go back home at 11 or 12. I place my head on that soft pillow. And then on the night of Qadr, I put the Holy Quran on my head and I say, Bika ya Allah. Allah is saying, where are you from these orphans? Where are you when you sit down and celebrate the birthday of Kareem Ahl al-Bayt? You say, I am the lover of Abi Muhammad al-Hasan al-Mushtaba. Imam al-Hasan, if he was able to speak to you, he would say, if you really and truly love me, bring a smile to the face of this young boy and young girl. It's a phone call away, brothers and sisters.
Brothers and sisters, I'm going to put this down. And let me be real with you. We are not here to emotionally blackmail you. We are not here to guilt trip you. We are just acting as the voices of these orphans. That's all it is. That's all it is. We are trying to be the voices of these orphans. The passion you heard Sayyid Ali with, that is nothing compared to what their hearts cry out. The packages, they're on your screens. The QR code is on your screens. 0203 515 1122. Let's not go off a script, or let's not go off what they've told us to say. The videos are there for you. When Sayyid Muhsin went to Karbala, he went without a script. He went, he walked in, and he walked right here. And he took this path. And this is one of our producers, by the way.
Muhammad Fahad.
Look.
It was with me the whole time.
And no script. They walked, they saw. There is no emotional blackmail, brothers and sisters. If you want, switch the channel. Close the YouTube link. You don't have to watch. This is for those that call themselves Shia of Ali. This is for those that call themselves the Shia of Khadijah al-Kubra. al-Mu'mineen. The only time we're proud to call someone al-Mu'mineen. The only time. Khadijah al-Kubra. If you don't want to watch or if you don't want to hear this, switch the channel. We're not forcing you, brothers and sisters. By all means, have your merry day. Go eat your iftar, go have your desserts, go have your drinks, go sit with your family in your nice £2,000 couches. Wallah. But when you go to bed tonight, on that comfortable pillow, and a nice duvet, and a heated room, and a room which you can close and have your privacy, remember that somewhere around the world, there are people living with bricks that aren't even cemented together. That there are people walking around in this pile. You would complain.
Look at this lady.
Look.
She's what, 60, 70 years old?
You would complain to your local authorities if there was one bin bag outside of your house. Because you say what? النظافة من الإيمان. Cleanliness is from Iman.
There's a couch there.
Look at the couch.
Look at this. Cleanliness is from Iman.
This is in the Karbala stadium.
But this is the reality of a lot of people. This is the reality of billions around the world. Many of you, mashallah, you go to Ziyara, you go to Karbala, you go to Najaf, you go to Kadmain, you go to Samarra. No problem. You see the wilayah where they've kept everything clean and presentable. I would love if inshallah one day, and inshallah this is a message by the way to our producers and directors and the people backstage that make everything happen. Inshallah one day we can organize something called the Imam Hussein TV tours, where people can come to the channel and we take shuttles to the outskirts of Karbala. And we let the people just see what happens. Or we take you to the outskirts of Najaf, we take you to the outskirts of Baghdad, we take you to the outskirts of Samarra, we'll take you to the outskirts. Inshallah, I pray, if Sayyid Murtada hears me, or Hajj Qasim Fahd hears me, I pray we can do this one day. And you're a Zair, and mashallah, thousands of you watch Imam Hussein TV. And we're honored that there are thousands of you watching Imam Hussein TV. But thousands of you come and you stay in the best hotels, and you eat the best of foods, and you are treated like kings and queens as you should be. You are in the land of Aba Abdullah. And as Sayyid Ali Nawab said, you carry the name of Zair al-Hussein. I want inshallah one day for you to see this. We won't ask you for money, we won't ask you for anything. We won't ask you for anything.
They've blurred this.
Yeah.
So you don't get disgusted of the scenery here.
There was a dead cat.
There was a carcass of a dead animal, which we can't show on TV. And you've just had your iftar, and this is sensitive. But this is where people are living, brothers and sisters.
But look, he still smiles, Sayyid. He's still smiling.
Yeah, he saw it as funny.
Some of you, if you don't get the latest shoes or the latest phone or you don't get something from your parents, you switch your face 180 degrees or 360 or however many degrees you want to.
These guys are barefoot. Look, they don't have slippers. They walk on barefoot. Now try and imagine your young daughter, your young son spends a day on the sandy earth, walking around.
I mean, Sayyid Ali, there were so many things there. That was a landfill site. Broken glass, plastic, sharp objects. And then on top of that, these children were working to try and pick out the, plastics and the wood and the cardboard so that they can help their mothers recycle, as you were saying, late in the night, where they have bags and, they have, carts taking all of this recycled materials so that they can gain some money, something, because it's the easiest and cheapest way for them to make money. And it's still not enough, brothers and sisters. The work that they are doing, it's not that these people are lazy, they don't want to work and they sit in bed. I'm telling you, they do not even beg.
They are some of the hardest workers you'll find.
Definitely.
By the way, 100%. Myself and Sayyid Ali, Sayyid Muhsin, I don't know how many times you've been to Karbala during Muharram, during the first 10 nights. But Sayyid Ali, you've been.
Yeah.
And mashallah, your family's house is close to the shrines.
Yeah.
Myself and Sayyid Ali, when we're in Karbala together, we walk together sometimes. He bids me farewell, I bid him farewell. One thing that we see is people, the trolleys?
Yeah.
The little trolleys that they rent it for about 2,000 dinar a day from some man.
The wooden carts.
The wooden carts that they push, the old ladies who sit on there, or the luggage from one
from
of you who's maybe come from
yeah.
hotel to hotel, or from the checkpoint to your hotel. They sleep on them.
Yeah.
They're sleeping
Yeah,
on
yeah,
them.
yeah.
They prepare their 5-star hotel room on the pavements of Karbala.
5-star hotel room is that little cart. And they sleep. Why? Because they're near Abu Abdullah. They don't need protection. Abu Abdullah protects them. In Karbala. But they're laying there. Why? Do you know how much? Wallah, once, I have this thing. Every time I go to Karbala, the first guy I see with the Arabana, I try to take him because helps him out and starts my ziyarah off on a good start. You know, for the past 4 years when I've been to Karbala, what's the average you would say they make in 17 hours of working? By the way, 17 hours of working. 17 hours of walking. Pure walking.
4,000, 5,000, 6,000 maybe?
Say Ali.
About 15 to 20,000.
6,000 dinar.
Oi.
£2.50.
Yeah.
£2.50 you wouldn't mind spending on a drink.
Coffee, tea.
Coffee, tea, drink. You throw that at I don't know, Red Bull, something like that?
Maybe. £2.50. Wow.
For 17 hours of walking, non-stop, pushing the heaviest of things. Why? Why? Why has it gotten to a stage where the inhabitants of...
There's no standard price for these Arabans.
Definitely not.
They take what you give them.
Yeah.
And everyone just gives them peanuts.
And brothers and sisters,
250, 500,
many of these young men, as young as 14, 13, 15, they don't live in Karbala.
Yeah. Yeah.
They've left their mothers, their fathers, their elderly. They've left them in Basra, in Amara, in Nasiriyah. He comes, he stays in Karbala, sleeping on the pavements, on the wooden cars. He sleeps there for 17, 18 days. And I literally ask them, because sometimes I go shopping and I need someone to help me. So I say, okay, let me get this guy. I will make him happy and he will help me. I ask him, where have you come? He says, I've come from Basra, I've come from Nasiriyah. I said, what are you doing here? He said, I'm here to make a living because I've left behind my mother and my sister.
They work the ziyarah season, brothers and sisters. That's their gold, that's their treasure. Well, there's a QR code. Don't call us, don't call in. I know many of you don't want your voices heard, and the producers are telling me why you're telling them not to call in. Adi, a lot of you may be embarrassed to call in. A lot of you may be embarrassed to say that I'm giving this much. The QR code is there on your screens. We'll get close to saying Ali right here. Scan that and put your donation through. Although we would love to hear your voices and we would love to hear what inspires you to give. I know many of you are shy. And just the thought of having your voice on TV may be nerve-wracking for you. So just scan the code. £30. Wallah, 30, but what can you buy with £30?
I said, Ali, I was going to ask you, when we have iftar in Ramadan time, we invite loads of guests for iftar.
Yeah.
How much do we spend on an iftar when we invite our family or friends?
I think maximum £150 to £200.
£150.
And I'm trying to be very low here.
It depends how many people are turning up.
Yeah.
But yeah, if it's a family,
you want to provide nice plates of fruits, starters, soup, main course, maybe different colors of main course.
Can we, because we are short of time, can we take a phone call?
Yeah,
on the line. Brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum. We'll take the phone call. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
MashaAllah. Your name and where you're calling from?
My name is Mahdiya.
Sister Mahdiya, how are you?
Alhamdulillah.
I think this is the same sister
The
that
same
speaks
sister.
to Karbala
Same
every
sister,
Thursday.
MashaAllah. Sister Mahdiya, what has inspired you to call in today?
The fact that it's the shahadat of Baby Khadijah and how
Salamullah alayha. Ahsantum, yeah.
she gave all of her wealth to the poor and inspired me to call today.
MashaAllah.
Will you be donating tonight, Sister Mahdiya?
Inshallah.
MashaAllah. To which campaign?
MashaAllah.
Is it for the orphans,
Sorry?
is it for the orphans or the iftar pack, or which one are you going to go for?
I don't really know.
Okay, you decide. The iftar, the packages. By the way, the packages are there. You can go on the website, Imam Hussein Charity website. Full details are there. Decide with the help of your parents, and inshallah, Sayyidah Khadijah salamullahi alayha will accept this from you. Because you saw the little boys and girls on TV, how they were living, how they were clothed. And I'm sure that this broke your heart. Brothers and sisters, if these images broke the heart of a little girl and made her pick up the phone and call the channel, then I'm sure it broke your heart as well. Sister Mahdiya, what message do you want to give to our brothers and sisters, the dear viewers who are watching Imam Hussein TV and watching this Imam Hussein charity show tonight? What do you want to tell them?
Give to the charity just like how the Ahlul Bayt did during Muharram, and how Bibi Khadijah did during the boycott, and how she gave all her wealthiness like to the poor.
And Ahsanti, and inshallah you will carry this responsibility on behalf of the Imam of our time.
Inshallah.
That you give this oath of allegiance and say, "Oh Imam, inshallah, until the last moments of my life, I will do my best to help support the orphans of Al Muhammad, wherever they are." I think this is the best initiative to take on the night of the Shahada of Sayyidah Khadijah.
Sister Mahdiya, it's always a pleasure to hear your voice. Thank you so much for your call. Brothers and sisters, we are going to show you a quick video, but we say thank you so much, Sayyid Ali and Nawab. Thank you for your presence.
Thank you for having me.
For your inspiration for us to push through.
No, thank you, and
to ask for donations.
I would like to thank Imam Hussein Charity for putting on this great show. And inshallah, their work, their tireless work won't go astray. Inshallah, with the help of the dear viewers, brothers and sisters, and with their help, with the spreading of this message, inshallah, before the end of Shahr Ramadan, we will be able to reach our goal and target, inshallah.
Inshallah, our goal and target of 100,000 food packages, my dear brothers and sisters, and a couple of water wells to the people of Pakistan. We're going to go to a short video, but after that we'll have a brand new guest, inshallah, towards the end of the show to wrap up this live fundraising for the orphans and the poor and the widows of Iraq, Pakistan and Afghanistan. Stay with us.
Imam Hussein Charity is giving you the chance to provide food baskets for destitute and impoverished families all over Iraq and Afghanistan. So let's see what your donation gets, Ali. We have oil, tomato paste, we have tahini, lentils, sugar, tea, pasta, tuna cans, salt, dates, rice. She would also be receiving fruit, vegetable and meats, and that comes fresh on the day delivery and only costs £30. Brothers and sisters, you can pay via bank transfer, PayPal, or you can visit www.imamhusseincharity.com.
Your donation can make a world of difference in the life of a hungry child.
These orphans need your help and require your assistance. Don't let any of these orphans go hungry this Ramadan. Please donate.
Don't let this be the end. Keep the hope alive.
Imam Hussein Charity is giving you the chance to provide food baskets for destitute and impoverished families all over Iraq and Afghanistan. Each basket costs around £30, $35 roughly, and can feed a family of 4. The food basket contains essentials such as flour, bread, tomato puree, oil. They get different spices as well, salt, pepper, even like cinnamon. You get lentils, you get different vegetables, meats, dates, tea, dried lemons, and not forgetting rice. take advantage of this blessed month and help destitute and impoverished families. You can pay via bank transfer, PayPal, or visit us at www.imamhusseincharity.com.
Give the gift of a healthy meal to a family in need by donating to our Food Basket campaign.
All right, brothers and sisters, we needed that break because things got a bit heated, but inshallah, we are back down to trying to collect money for the orphans and the widows and those in need in the countries of Iraq, Pakistan and Afghanistan. Joining me is our dear brother, Sayyid Muhsin, as he's been with me throughout the whole show. Sayyid, welcome again.
Thank you very much, Minhal, and a fantastic show we've had.
Yeah.
I mean, a really good insight onto the reality of what's going on in Iraq with the orphans and so forth, and also, you know, helping with water wells in my home country of Pakistan. Really looking forward to our new guest, inshallah.
Inshallah.
So over to you. And before we do that, quickly, just we do that. Let's go through the campaigns again. What we're trying to raise money for. We're trying to raise money for the iftar pack. £30 will get you an iftar pack for, you know, with food essentials and so forth for a family. £50 will sponsor an orphan, providing them with clothes, school tuition fees, school equipment, and so forth.
£100
medical
will bring
care.
medical aid. I thought we were doing two.
Go for it.
£100 will provide medical aid to those who need it, whether it's insulin shots, examinations, dialysis, that's the one. £250 will provide shelter for those in need, those who've got, as you saw in some of the videos in the earlier in the show, those who've got twigs and rugs as roofs. Will provide repairs for
to their houses and
for
so
construction.
And then £500 will provide skills in trade to an orphan or a widow. I think we're joined by our guest.
There he is. He just appeared. We didn't give him an introduction.
We'll go straight. Mr. Tijani, Assalamu alaikum. How are you?
Wa alaikum assalam. I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
MashaAllah. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. Honored to have you here, and it's great to have you here.
And it's an honor to be here with you today and participate in such a noble cause. So, inshallah, I hope we can raise lots of money today.
MashaAllah. Now, have you had any first-hand experience with charity work, providing for orphans? Have you been on the ground anywhere to see the conditions of these people?
Absolutely. I've been fundraising now for the best part of 10 years or so. And I've actually been to Iraq in Karbala and seen the way that the orphans are living. I've been to Pakistan and also seen the poor people there and seen the importance that things like water wells can do over there.
Now, what would you say the lack of clean water, what kind of impact has that had on the people around them? I mean, surely you've seen that people are going through diseases and all sorts of problems.
Well, we know that almost 2,500 children under the age of 5 die every single day worldwide due to waterborne diseases. And that's more children that die from that than do of AIDS, malaria, AIDS. So it is a serious problem worldwide.
Wow.
I mean, when you went to visit Pakistan and with the, you know, the bad water, I mean, how does it affect their daily lives? Because we use water for everything. We use water for drinking, sanitizing, washing. Oh, we've cut ourselves as a wound. We need to use water to clean the wound. I believe you do have a medical background, Mr. Tijani, or is it your brother?
It's both of us. We're both GPs.
MashaAllah. So how bad can it get with contaminated water?
You see, we take having clean water for granted here in the West. I've seen firsthand the effects that, I mean, let's put it this way, if our child gets diarrhea, right? I have 2 children of my own. I'm sure you guys in the studio, may have children, your producer may have children. If our children get diarrhea, we just give them fluids, we give them some medicines and they're better.
Yeah.
Can you imagine that 1 in 9 deaths in children under the age of 5 because of diarrhea, and that is such a preventable illness? And yet we're just standing by and watching that. We're here in the West, and we're just standing by and watching them suffer in this way.
Wow. 1 in 9 children die from
diarrhea.
from something that is totally preventable.
Easily curable. Very easily curable. But you see, it's a never-ending cycle, don't you think, Doctor? As in, you got diarrhea, you got bacteria and so on from drinking the water, and to cure it, you need to top up on your water because you're getting dehydrated.
And now you're having more poisonous water.
Exactly.
Brothers and sisters, come on. £1,400. It is not a lot.
No,
let's face it. Iraqi, Pakistani, Khoja families, you guys consist of at least 20 to 30 members in your family. MashaAllah, and inshallah it becomes 40 and 50. So that when you want to donate towards a water well, it's less and less money per individual person, but it all contributes, don't you think? Sayyid Muhsin and brother Tijani. Is he a doctor?
Dr.
Dr. Tijani, sorry, I disrespected you there for a second. Dictorne.
Not at all.
Now in Iraq, there used to be on Iraqi TV, you two may not know this, but on Iraqi TV there used to be adverts. After every other advert, there used to be an advert for the cholera virus.
Oh wow.
Because cholera used to arise in water in Iraq.
Yeah.
It got that bad that TV stations started to advertise, don't drink this water, drink bottled water. Okay. How are people supposed to drink bottled and filtered and purified water if they don't have the money?
Yeah, definite.
Absolutely. I mean, to be honest with you, my mission today, inshallah, is for someone to donate to Waterwell by the end of this show. And you don't understand, those viewers watching at home, how much thawab you'll be getting from doing that. Imagine the number of lives you'll be saving. It is said that if you save one life, it is as if you've saved all of humanity. And imagine if you can build one water well. And, like you said, there's lots of nationalities within our communities, but also sitting at home today, you'll be sat at home with your families. If each of you donated £100 and you can get 14 people together, you can donate one water well between yourselves, and the thawab will be shared between you. So, inshallah, I hope that someone can donate one water well by the end of this show.
Now, Dr. Tijani, we've got 12 minutes as we see on our screens and counting down. I want a recitation from you for the dear viewers. And
inshallah,
dear viewers, if Dr. Tijani recites for you and we don't get a water well, I don't know what else we need to do.
Dr. Tijani, would you be kind enough to recite on behalf of the marhum of those who have donated and so forth?
That's perfect.
And people who have donated, and inshallah for those who will donate.
Inshallah. I want to recite something on Bibi Fatima the-Zahra salamullahi alayha. Obviously, it's the shahadat, the death anniversary of her mother. And inshallah, if we can all join together with a loud salawat. Allahumma
salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
Mawla Ali alayhi salam says, "O Fatima, I am so alone. Without you around, this house is no longer a home. How will I forget the things that I saw? Your ribs that were crushed, the nail and the door. Your tormented cries, the blood on the floor. Muhsin, our son, whose life is no more. Oh Fatima, it broke me to see. Though you were in pain, you crawled trying to save Ali. They tell me, Ali, we thought you were strong. You lifted the gates of Khaybar alone. So why is it that you cry on and on? You know better than us that she is gone. Oh Fatima, if only they knew the bruises and scars I saw when I was washing you. You know that a day will come on Hussein. He will be alone upon burning plains. A shower of stones and arrows will rain. with 12 blunted strikes, his neck will be slain. Oh, is it a shower of stones and arrows will rain? He will call for you again and again. Oh Fatima, they will trample him. His chest will be torn and he'll bleed from his every limb. And as he lowers her body into the grave, he says, with my very hands, I lay you to sleep. I know that you told me to never weep, but I can't control the way that I feel. Your death is a scar that will never heal. Oh Fatima, a rose of Allah, your fragrance will stay forever in my broken heart.
Ahsant, mashallah. Dr. Tijani, thank you so much for your beautiful recitation. A final word of encouragement, 10 seconds if you can, for the viewers at home to donate towards the campaigns they see on their screens right now. Bismillah, 10 seconds.
Absolutely. No, what I will say to everyone at home, I know that we're asking you for money, but if you can't give any money and if you can't donate directly, donate indirectly. By number one, raising awareness of the charity, sending a link of the show to your family, your friends, anyone at home that you may have. And secondly, if you can't donate your money, you can donate your time. Give Imam Hussein Charity a call and donate your time and say, you know what, I'll do anything it takes with my time to help this noble cause out.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Dr. Tijani. And inshallah, we'll see you in future shows. Brothers and sisters, before we wrap up, we have got a €34, £30, £300, £10, £30 donations. Salawat ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Now, brothers and sisters, 5 minutes till the end of the show. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to do 1 minute each.
Okay.
For 6 minutes, let's say. 6 minutes, so it's even. So 1 minute for you, 1 minute for me, and inshallah we will encourage the viewers to begin. I'm just waiting for the time to go. Brothers and sisters, the campaign packages are on your screens right now. £30 will get an iftar package. £50 will sponsor an orphan with clothes and with school supplies and with basically their necessities. £100 will provide medical aid, insulin shots, dialysis, stitchings, because as we saw, the kids are running around in glass and rubble and all that kind of stuff, and they are literally cutting themselves and they need to be stitched and sterilized. £250 will provide shelter for people. £500 will teach someone a skill. 20 seconds. £500 will teach someone a skill that they can take forward and they can continue to develop themselves, and they won't rely on Imam Hussein Charity anymore. And the screen has just gone off behind me. £1,400, brothers and sisters, for a water well in Pakistan for the impoverished and for those needy. Go.
Yes, £1,400 will provide a water well in my home country of Pakistan in the southern regions. You could either donate yourself, you could get together with your family and donate. You find 14 people in the name of the 14 Ma'sumin, give £100 each. You could either go to your Husayniyah and together collectively in your Husayniyah you could try to raise money for a water well. Or why not go to your work? If you're in the corporate world, you can speak to your management or the directors, even your bank, and they are more than happy to help with non-profit projects such as water wells and aid you in trying to raise £1,400 for a water well. If you'd like to donate towards the skills and trading package, which will help orphans and widows learn a new trade such as sewing, cooking, barbering,
15 seconds,
and riding a bus, that will help them to start their own trade, their own business, and inshallah help them get out of poverty by themselves. 3, 2, 1, over to Minhaj.
Brothers and sisters, 1 in 10 people die of experience chronic hunger. Now, chronic means long term. 1 in 10 people experience, in other words, long term hunger. 815 million people around the world, because the population has surpassed 8 billion people. Hunger is the #1 killer around the world. It kills more people than AIDS, malaria and tuberculosis, which are 3 major epidemics around the world. It kills them. Hunger kills more people combined. Now, 1 in 4 people are estimated to be hungry in sub-Saharan Africa, including Tanzania and Kenya.
20 seconds.
Wow, 315,000 women die. Oh my God, 315,000 women die in childbirth due to malnutrition.
Whoa.
Brothers and sisters, £30 for the iftar pack, and allow some pregnant women to become nutritionalized.
3,
Scan the QR, scan the QR code.
Right, there's 1 minute left. Can you just confirm there's 1 minute left?
1 minute left, 1 minute left, 1 minute left.
Okay, so we go quickly.
Quick.
The reality is that these people are in dire, desperate need of your help. And only you guys have the power to make a change. Pick up the phone 0203 515 1122 to make a donation, or visit www.imamhusseincharity.com. All the packages, all the details, all the information is there. We take all major credit cards, we take all banks, all different types of currencies, and PayPal. So you have no excuse. Scan the QR code or call in.
We have to do the outro, brothers and sisters. We want to thank our dear brother Yasser, Sayyid Ali Nawab, and Dr.
Tijani,
Dr. Shabir Tijani for coming on the show and inspiring you and motivating you to donate. I'd like to thank my amazing co-host Sayyid Hussein Shah.
And my amazing host Minhal Khafaji.
And the packages are still on your screens. We've got 10 seconds left. 0203 515 1122, and the lines are open all night long. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Sorry, Mullah Ali.
علاجات حبوب مال سكر ما تقدر تجيبه توفره وصار أكثر من شهر ما مستعمل الدواء. هسه من ما تقول اليوم هو يشتغل مكسور ظهره. الخير أطلب منهم المساعدة.
شنو المساعدة؟ فقط أنهم ماديين مثلا.
كيفهم اللي يطلع منهم.
I'm here with young Mujtaba, who unfortunately lost his father 2 years ago, and since then it's been a very, very tragic turn of events for young Mujtaba, where it's been very, very difficult for him to even live his life. He likes to study, but he cannot afford to purchase books or stationery for him to study well at school. Furthermore, how sad is it that his father is buried so far from him that he cannot even afford to pay to go visit the grave of his father. And then beside him is his grandmother, I believe, and she suffers from diabetes. Now, for her prescription is around about 11,000, 12,000, for just 15 days or so of medication. But the family is only receiving 20,000 from one of the other brothers who works, who's actually quite young, and he's just doing whatever he can to survive. Now, families like these who have prosperous futures and health to gain, you can help families just like this by donating monthly and giving young Mujtaba here a future to work towards, and helping out his grandmother by just having simple insulin injections to help her with her diabetes. Brothers and sisters, I urge you all to visit our websites or to get on the phones and inshallah make a contribution to help this family.
Orphans deserve love, care and happiness. Your donation can provide them with all three. Donate now.
عمرها 32 يوم احترقت مهمتهم. الابو يعني طلع ال 40، انا سويت الفاتحه مالتهم. هذا بعد مالي فوق جهلي. قدمت رحت لاهلهم قلت لهم يابا هذا بزركم بينكم وبين انا ما اقدر وانا تعبانه. وابكي النار كلها على بنيتي ما قلبي مجوع عليه. قالوا ما نريدهم. احنا متبرين منهم من ابوهم، شالوا البراءه اعطوني اياه مالت ابوهم. والله قدمت هسه بعد عند القاضي البراءه مالت. لا يفقدوهم لا يسالون عليهم، الناس تترحم عليهم ماكو.
شهر رمضان شهر رمضان شهر رمضان شهر رمضان يا رمضان Ramadan, how blessed are your days, saving me from my wrongful ways. Hungry throughout your days, I'll stay sincerely to my Lord, I'll pray. Oh Ramadan, how blessed